For 30 years, the Cleveland Browns have destroyed every quarterback they've touched, and what Andrew Berry is about to do proves nothing has been changed.
Man, you can't have it both ways, man. Anything but Shedeur. Now y'all trying to get a brand new fancy car in by way of the Green Bay Packers and Malik Willis. Y'all talking about bring veterans in. Is Malik Willis really a veteran?
There's just not enough with Malik. And it's interesting. I heard people pound the table for Malik today that have been anti-Shedeur or anti-Dylan Gabriel. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure those two quarterbacks have more football that we can judge them off of than Malik Willis.
Take Malik Willis, you're done with the Shedeur Sanders experiment. You can't keep him around.
No.
Right?
Shedeur Sanders is your quarterback one for 2026. He is the best option for the Cleveland Browns to jumpstart this season.
The Cleveland Browns franchise have a young quarterback with a first-round skill set. They have a new head coach who's been chasing this kid since he was in high school, and they have a chance, a legit chance, to finally turn the page on years of misery. So what are they reportedly doing? Seriously considering handing the keys to Malik Willis, a guy with 155 career pass attempts, a backup, a clipboard holder, a man who has spent the last 4 years as the third most important person on his own sideline. This isn't a quarterback competition, this is sabotage, and somebody needs to say it out loud.
You don't need to go in the draft, look in the draft for quarterback. You need to get other skill position players. You need to upgrade your wide receiver core, and you need to upgrade your offensive line.
Let's rewind. The Cleveland Browns drafted Shedeur Sanders knowing exactly what they were getting, the son of a legend, a kid who'd been doubted, poked, prodded, and dragged through the mud at every single stop of his pre-draft journey. He fell all the way to pick 144, not because the football wasn't there, not because the accuracy wasn't there, because the league's old guard didn't like the noise that came with the Sanders name. Cleveland took the shot anyway, and then what did they do? They handed him a broken offensive line, a coaching staff that emotionally checked out before Halloween, and threw him straight into the fire. No real runway, no legitimate support, no wide receivers who could consistently get open. And despite all of that, every single bit of it, Shedeur Sanders went out there and went 3-4 in his 7 starts to close 2025. He showed arm talent, he showed composure, he showed the kind of leadership you simply cannot coach into a person. He did everything a young quarterback possibly could under those conditions, and still, the Cleveland media sharpened their knives.
Talks, he runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way.
This is not a new story. The Cleveland insiders, the local media voices who spend their days whispering narratives into the ears of fans and front offices alike, have never, not for a single day, actually gotten behind Shedeur Sanders. Not once. Last year, it was Joe Flacco. Give Flacco the keys, they said. He's a veteran. He's been here before. He knows how to win. Then Flacco looked exactly like what he is, a 40-year-old quarterback running on fumes and reputation, and the narrative immediately pivoted. Okay, maybe Dylan Gabriel. Give the rookie a shot. Shedeur's not ready. Shedeur Sanders was never going to be ready for these people. That was always the point.
Cleveland media did not want to make it a quarterback competition last year when it came to the likes of Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, and Shedeur Sanders. They was just hell-bent on just giving Joe Flacco the keys.
Now it's 2026, new coaching staff, new chapter, a real opportunity to finally let this young man breathe and go to work. And what's the new narrative? Malik Willis. They found a new name, slapped it on the same tired argument, and here we are again. The name changes, the agenda never does. Say this slowly so everyone in the back can hear it. Malik Willis is not a veteran quarterback. 5 years in the league sounds like experience until you actually look at what those 5 years contain. He was drafted by the Tennessee Titans in the 3rd round, and it was a disaster. Couldn't hold the starting job, couldn't win the room, got shuffled out. Bounced to Green Bay as a backup, where he spent 2 years learning the system, watching from the sideline, and throwing 35 total passes across an entire NFL season in 2025. 35 passes in a whole season. Dillon Gabriel had one single game, where he dropped back 58 times, more than Willis threw in 4 months.
Malik Willis, a little bit he played at Tennessee, like,
It was a nightmare.
Yeah, why is he a hot commodity based on like one game?
155 career pass attempts, and people are out here calling this man a veteran. They're out here suggesting Cleveland should pay him $20 to $30 million guaranteed, the same contract structure Justin Fields just signed with the Jets, the same deal that's now going to cost New York tens of millions in dead cap after one catastrophic year, and hand him the starting job over a quarterback who was specifically drafted to be the future of this franchise. That's not competition, that's insanity dressed up in NFL buzzwords. Here's what the Cleveland media doesn't want to talk about, because it completely destroys their narrative. Todd Monken, the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns, has a direct, personal football relationship with Shedeur Sanders that goes back years.
Yeah, we tried to draft your ass last year, for God's sake. It's all worked out.
When Shedeur was coming out of high school, Monken was at Georgia. The Bulldogs recruited Shedeur. Monken watched what this kid could do up close, at full speed, before the hype, before the spotlight, before any of the noise. He didn't recruit Shedeur because of his last name. He recruited him because the football was undeniable. Then Monken went to the Baltimore Ravens as offensive coordinator, and in the 2025 draft, the Ravens reportedly wanted to draft Shedeur. Think about that for a second. The man who was recruiting Shedeur in high school, who wanted to draft him from the Ravens' war room, is now the head coach of the team that actually has him. The football universe lined this up perfectly. Monken didn't stumble into Cleveland and find Shedeur Sanders. He arrived at a destination the game had been pointing him toward for years.
Coordinator in the NFL with the Baltimore Ravens, and you heard Todd Monken in 2025, they wanted to draft Shedeur Sanders. Now it comes full circle that Todd Monken is the new head coach for the Cleveland Browns, and now Shedeur Sanders is your quarterback.
And people want to blow that up. People want to take that full circle moment, that perfect football story, and trade it in for Malik Willis and 155 career pass attempts. It's mind-boggling. Let's talk money, because this is where the argument against Willis becomes airtight. Reports are surfacing that Willis is expected to command a deal in the range of 2 years, $40 million, $30 million of that guaranteed. That is the Justin Fields structure. That is the exact contract that is currently drowning the New York Jets in dead cap money after Fields looked completely lost in his 1 year there. And Cleveland, a team already buried under a massive contract for Deshaun Watson, a team trying to build around young talent, a team that desperately needs to be spending money on an offensive line and wide receivers, is allegedly ready to light $30 million on fire for a quarterback who has never started a full NFL season in his life. For what? To send a message to Shedeur Sanders that this organization doesn't believe him? To tell a kid the league already disrespected at the draft that the team that picked him disrespects him too?
That's the exact kind of contract that Willis is going to sign, and if it doesn't work out, then you just have more dead weight going forward. That's why you invested in
It doesn't really make a ton of sense for the Browns. It doesn't make sense for Willis.
It doesn't make sense for the Browns. It doesn't make sense for the future. The only thing it makes sense for is the Cleveland media's agenda to watch Shedeur Sanders fail. Nobody in this debate wants to say the real thing, so here it is, plain and unfiltered. Shedeur Sanders has never, not once during his time with the Cleveland Browns, been given the tools to succeed. The offensive line in front of him was a rolling door of retreads and injury replacements. His wide receivers couldn't get separation. His coaching staff was coaching for their own jobs instead of developing their quarterback. He was dropped into an impossible situation and asked not just to survive, but to thrive. And still he showed enough. He still moved the ball. He still made NFL-caliber throws. He still commanded that huddle. Denzel Ward, one of the leaders of that locker room, looked straight into the camera and said the starting job is Shedeur's to lose. His own teammates see it. His own coaches see it. The people actually in the building with him every single day see it. The only people who don't see it are the ones who decided they didn't want to before he ever took a snap. Give Shedeur Sanders a real offensive line. Spend that Willis money on a legitimate wide receiver. Let him walk into OTAs as QB1 with the full confidence that the organization is behind him. Do that, just that, and watch what this man does. The Cleveland Browns are standing at a fork in the road. One path leads somewhere, the other leads right back to the same swamp they've been stuck in for 30 years. Shedeur Sanders is not a project. He is not an experiment. He is not a placeholder until a real quarterback shows up. He is the quarterback. He was drafted to be the quarterback. His head coach has been chasing him since he was 17 years old. His teammates believe in him. The football, when you actually watch it without the media filter, shows you a player who belongs in this league and belongs under center for this franchise.
Shedeur Sanders is the Cleveland Browns quarterback of the future, regardless how you slice it or dice it. But give this young man an opportunity, and you heard.
There is no version of this where paying $30 million guaranteed to Malik Willis, a man with fewer career starts than Shedeur already has, makes Cleveland a better football team. There is no version of this where running Shedeur out of town after half a season on a broken roster under a lame duck staff is justified. There is no version of this that ends anywhere other than exactly where Cleveland always ends up, starting over again, from scratch, with nothing to show for it. Jimmy Haslam, Andrew Berry, Todd Monken, whoever's making this call, the answer is right in front of you. It has been right in front of you since draft day. It's Shedeur Sanders. It has always been Shedeur Sanders.